Well, hello, dear friends. It is time once more to read more of this thing. You know the one. This is Brewdening Love, Chapter 13. Oh, I imagine we're going to get into something. It's been a little while since I read this, so, let's just go. Chapter 13. Discussions. See? One God Reviewer. Thank you. Unless you are a pretender, in which case, fuck you, 111. All you utter bitches can fuck off, because no one licks you. I've had a boyfriend. Have you? Greater than. No, didn't think so. Anyway, Ginny wasn't really into the whole now with Jacob thing. So that's why he's Aliv. I can make use of him, though, so all good. Review nicely, and Lord bless. Ooh. True love comes only from both hard shit and ease. Book of Ruth. Ooh. The hard shit. We all stood there grasping. We couldn't believe that M was still alive. Or at least, that's how it locked to me. But something seemed off. OMG, said Ginny, who ran into his awaiting arms. Author's note. Airy. No! 3. See, Jen? What are you doing being alive when you are dead? M came and sat with us at the table. Jen was sat next to him. What's the plan? Said M, determinately. What do you mean? Ward asked angstily, angrily. How are we going to beat Jones? M said, looking confused. Your death! I called you! WTF, man! Greater than. Word said angrily and stily. Ginny ran over and hogged him. She was so happy, but then she remembered Jacob, and then she was confused. Could it be she liked them both? What's wrong, Jen? Asked M, all concerned, and put her hand on her cheek in an adorable way, like I saw James once do to Claire at the record store in my old town. And then she stopped huffing him, and he. M looked sad, but the ward was getting angry. He looked lick. He was going to knock a fucker out. You are a traitor. I killed you, and until you explain this, we cannot continue with you in our midst. M shook his herd. No, I am not. I did not want to go against my religion. You could have gotten Jenny Durd, Ward roared sexually, but powerfully, too. I would never let Jomas hurt James hurt Joan, M retorted back. Author's note. See? Better vocab now, you dirty FF flammers, huh? I mean, no, but okay. You are lying, Ed Ward screamed, and then went to punch M in the Jaguar. But before he did, no! 111. It went on for a really long time. I'm sorry about that. I yellowed because I did not want them to fight. Brothers should never, ever fight. God wants the family to stick together. Jenny loved M, and I loved Wade. He was so and he means the world to me. I didn't want his to hurt his brother, nor Janet to get hurt. Ward stopped, and so did Then Jacob ran into the room. What has happened? Jacob asked, and Jenny went over to him and curried her teary face into his tan chest, sobbing. Emma's alive. You have to protect Joan, she told him. You have to become a werewolf to save her from the evil jams. The evil jams, everybody. It's the only way. Jacob looked thinkingly as he looked the vampires and at me. What's in it for me? Ward looked at him. Satisfaction of saving a life. Okay, I will save here from the evil jam. Is there a story about evil jam? Oh my god, I think there actually is. Isn't it the one that fucking, what's his name, who runs Zero Punctuation wrote? Jenny looked sad, and I looked more sad at her. My life was in danger. I have a blood-sucking vampite for a BF who might eat me, and all sorts of drama, but she had to choose between the biggest loves of her life. We were all so happy that Fernando was going to help me. Wared and Em forgot about their fighting. Then Alice offed to dive us to her heels so we could work on a plan. Rose went out shopping. MC and Charlie were there when we got there. We told them the plan to save me, and they were really happy that I would be saved. I bit my lip. I hope they were happy for a reason. Jonah and I want to show you something, Jacob told me, and we went out the back alone, even though Wad wasn't happy about that. Did he seriously think I'd jump ship or something? Author's note for another guy, not a dyke, not that kind of jumping shop. Ooh, the homophobia is real in this one. Watch, he said, and then he turned into a big scary wolf. He was rustled. Author's note, a sort of brown, I guess, and shaggy. That whole thing was written as if it was a sentence. He was big and he had teeth that locked sharp. It was scarty, but then he licked the side of my face and I realized it wasn't scary. I hugged him and even though he was a muscular, is that how you will stop Jones? I asked, and Jacob nodded and turned into a person again. And because I care about you, I shrieked because he was naked, and he excused himself. I only hoped Ward wasn't watching, shocked emoji. But before Jacob went, I exploded! I thought you loved Jenny, I said angrily that he liked me and Jenny at the same time. She was choosing, you cannot have both! I'm with Ward. You were a good friend and nothing more, I shouted at him, and Jacob looked like he would cry. I know, but don't forget how I felly. And then he left me alone, and I went back to see Ward. He was hot, but I couldn't. I loved Ward, and he loved me, and then I went back inside to ask him about him being alive. Ooh. Thanks for reading. Phenoxysis, spit at me again and I'll report it. Serio. I am sure the FF Reprobate people don't like nasty shit like your scanny arse. So be nice. Chapters are getting longer, but we are going to do one more before I end this video. So this is chapter 14, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Chapter 14, A New Life. Okay, now I'm on the wonderful DeviantArt. There's a sentence that no one has ever said ever. Yay! Because FF.net are nasty, sinning people who took my whole fucking story sound for no gosh darn reason. Oh wait, yes, there is a reason. Fnaxons and skis. They are evil flammers who ruined my story on FF and are now here harassing me, 1-1. Ignore this pathetic people because they have no life. Ignore them. To my new readers, read the Otter chapters first. Okay, cool, yes, okay, thank you for reading, happy emoji. Oh yes, disclaimer for the new place. This chapter, everyone after it, and everyone before, is about Twilight series owned produced by Stephanie Meyer. This is a tribute, not stealing. 1-1. Heart. This is to see if DeviantArt will accept the above as my divisor. It sort of feels wrong to take from the Bible all the time, because it is not my own. So I guess there's no more letters. There's no more ooh, sorry kids. That's the end of it. That's the end of it. I hope you enjoyed it while it lasted. I walked up into the house, refracting on what just happened. Bateau, Jacklib, and Ward were in love with me. Author's note. From now on, I'll kill Jacob J, or J, because Jacob sounds like it's mocking the Bible a bit. What, because there was a guy named Jacob? Nobody else can be named Jacob? Bruh. The original name goes back to the founder of the 12th Jewash tribes. The name means struggler with God. That's not appropriate. We should work with the Lord. Story just keeps getting crazier, doesn't it? But I had to know why M was alive. Ward had clearly killed him, hadn't he not? I pondered. M must be asked. I walked into the house and up to his room where I knew he would be. He was sitting on the bed, looking out the window at the Havians, listening, ironically, to evanescences bring me back to life. I don't think that's what the song's called, but okay. M. He turned around and had tears in his. M. How are? I talk a breath. How are you here? Edward killed you, did he not? M looked up with his deep brown eyes. I felt sorry for him. James brought me back from the dead. He used a satanic ritual to demon spawn! 1. I screamed and spat in his face and shoved him away with my fist. He was here because of Lucifer's doing? 1. I held my fingers in a cross and backed away from him, praying the Almighty in case he trying anything. He has a tainted soul.
She's not a Christian!
John, Jayon, it's not my fault. James brought me back. He drug up my burned and cut up corpse and put me on a pentagola, and then used his wicked magics to raise me and make me back together. I did not Wano come back, not after. He cried, and I felt sad. It wasn't his fault. But now, he was a demonic vampire. How does one go about healing such a wound? I furrowed my brow and thought it wasn't his fault. Yet he was now clearly under the control of evil. What should I do? I called the local church for guidance. Without explaining, the Cullens were vampires, of course. They sent me over a priest, and I went out to greet him. The Cullens didn't know this was happening! It's in all caps, I don't really know why. I exited the door, and the priest green hatchback showed up. Author's note, Jin, I think you know who this is, lol! And he exited. Out exited a tall white man with gray and brown hair and in a shortest cut. Author's note, Uno, guy hair. Guy hair. Guy hair. And a modest plaid shirt and black slacks. He had a fuzzy brown mustache and a gentle smile. It was, I recognized, Father James Holden 111:3. I don't know who that is. Do I need to Google that? I'm gonna fucking Google that.
2 hours later.
So I may have found an entire Wikipedia based on Brewdening love and the expanded universe around it, because apparently there's a whole bunch of other things that go with it. Yeah, I guess we have like a whole thing going for this one. Cool. I'll save this for later, I guess. I didn't find out who Father James Holden is. That didn't come up except just here, and I still don't know what any of this is supposed to be. So, yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Good morning, Miss Jones Sanctuary, Louisa Smith. What a fucking name. I recall you from last weekend's service. You were such a charming young lady. I don't know why he sounds kind of like Data, but I'm going to keep with that whole voice. I don't care. I bushed and ushered him inside the house quickly. We went upstairs, and M prepared himself. He stripped down to his boxers, and Father Holden dabbed his temple with holy water, and spoke a few words, asking the Lord to bless and take care of M during the ordeal. The father then started chanting something in what I could only guess to be Latino. M's sobbing stopped, and now white eyes rolled up into his head. His mouth fell open, and he began vibratoring. Shocked emoji. He left it off the ground and started slowly spinning around and began chanting some strange tongue one. Father Holden struggled against the energy coming off emo and flacked holy water at him from the wall. I almost fell over. Shocked emoji. I starnage. Supernatural winds began to blow, and the room shook, and things fell everywhere. I screamed! Finally, Father Holden seemed to be winning, and threw all his water at M, shouting, Unheavenly influence, begone from the mortal plane! Thine Lord commands it so! Over and over. M began whirling about faster and faster, then slower and sour, and then he stopped and fell to the ground in a heap. We dragged him to his feet and into his bed, where the father checked his vitals. He'll be fine. Thank you for contacting me, Miss Joan. It's rare we see a demonic forces at work in this world, but when we do... I nodded, and he went. I waved him goodbye outside before going back to M. He looked adorable asleep, almost like Ward. They were related, after all. I brushed my hair and smiled. I could tell everyone M was now safe. But James, he was still a danger we must deal with. Heart. Lol, you know what I imagine the love hearts look like. Cats in party hats with the hat pushed down a bit. Ha, lol. Anyway, thanks for reading. See you next chapter. XOXOXOXO. So, there you go, kids. I hope you enjoyed this this next installment. I don't know what the fuck is going on in this story, I'll be completely honest with you, but I'm glad you're all here. And if you are enjoying this, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I have a Ko-Fi and a merch store. I'd appreciate you checking those out. And if you can't, I understand. Every Saturday there is a live stream, which you are more than welcome to come check out. And I have my own subreddit if you'd like to send me your own strange stories. Weird fan fiction, neckbeard stories, legbeard stories, just a little bit of anything. r/Moonhorse Stories. Check it out. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.